Shalom. All praise goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors goes unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that have taught me the truth. Much love, peace, blessings goes out to all you hopeful elect brothers that are teaching the word of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, as well as you sincere listeners out there that are coming back to your God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. So may the Holy Spirit speak through me to edify you listeners out there. As to this point, I'm going to go in on salvation is very near. This is kind of like a open forum, multiple topics, quick hit that I want to go into because earlier I had like a spiritual kind of incident happen to me as I'm driving. I'm sitting here driving on my way to do what I had to do at the time. I'm getting on the highway, and as I'm getting on, a bus had pulled up next to me with these spiritual numbers on the back, right? 777 1144. Now, before I go into the meaning of those letters, I'll show you the video that I was actually watching. I'll go here. Hold on real quick. Telling the brother Maya Ka'ala from GMS LA, and he was going into, recent happenings with dealing with their camp out there in LA. And all these signs are pointing to one important thing, which is, the foundation of our faith is salvation, man. Salvation is very close. We're drinking brother. As far as you brothers and you sisters out there that walk in this faith and been experiencing the hell and the sufferings of this society, we're experiencing the last bits of the hell before we actually get placed back on top of this whole entire earth again. And we can see a king rule in righteousness with health and unity and peace among our nation. Everything being proper and just. We almost in that time, man. Because that's what we hope for, because the world as it stands is upside down. We got these heathens ruling over us who are really supposed to be the servants of our nation, of the nation of Israel, right? You got all types of abominable, thought processes and really, really abominable acts that are rooted in the thought processes of these people because they don't have the knowledge of the Heavenly Father, man. These people are even to the point where going after our own children with their programming in the things that they put towards, in the school systems, promoting that one world order spirit, the LGBTQ plus spirit, the alphabet people. So it's a very dark time that we're living in, but synonymously, that darkness and heaviness is about to get lifted up off of us. You know what I'm saying? Because just, you had the blood moon, which just happened last night. Very spiritual. And all these things that are happening are signs that the Lord, Yahushua, is coming to save us out of this shit, man. Because I hear this countless times, especially recently, and just myself, my own personal experiences of what I've been going through, man. But brothers are tired of this shit. We're tired and broken down and worried of this kingdom, of being here, because really we don't want to be here anymore. We're striving and fighting every day to pave way for the kingdom, and that's the type of living in, type of scenario we want to be in, man. But while we're here, we're under constant duress and stress. So again, going back to this bus, 777. The number 7 represents completion. It represents completion of a work, right? Because the Most High, he completed the earth. He completed the creation in 7 days. In 6 days, actually, he finished his work, and on the 7th was his rest. So that represents completion. You have the cycle of days, which you have 7 days, which complete the week. You see what I'm saying? So completion, when you think about that thought of completion, what else is complete? Our captivity, our suffering, man, being in the hands of these devils, having to deal with our people that are out here wicked as hell. They have no care for their brothers. They have no care for, I was just watching this goddamn video of Jake. Man, Jake is completely gone, man. Look at this. This was speaking of being a brazen daytime shooting by teens, man. And this was a shootout that these Jakes had in broad daylight. You can see here.
Police in North Carolina are still looking for a juvenile suspect in what they call a brazen daytime shooting in a parking lot. It happened on April 30th in East Charlotte. Investigators say as two teens exited a convenience store, they fired on a vehicle with an assault rifle and a handgun, striking a person in the car. A detective with the Charlotte-Mecklenburg police analyzed surveillance video of the incident.
The victim vehicle, the back window was down. There wasn't any gun shown, but...
So, hey, Jake is out here getting into shootouts in broad daylight. And I seen another video coming out of Philadelphia. These Jakes, I'm not sure how far back this incident goes back to as far as when it happened, but it was recent, within the past 6 months. These Jakes got out of the back of a car, leaving a gas station, and then they shot up this one guy that was another Jake that was at the pump. And this is just Israelites killing Israelites, shooting at each other. So we got to get delivered out of this condition. But these spiritual signs show you what time we're in. You know what I'm saying? Because if you go here, let's actually start off with the book of Acts in the book of Acts chapter 2 and 16. Matter of fact, 17, it says, "And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith the Most High, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams." And we're in those days now, because you got all types of testimonials and visions brothers are having in these days of the martial law and famine that's coming, of the lawlessness and chaos that's about to break out in society. We're having visions and dreams of the future right now, and this is prophecy because it's leading up to a point. It's coming to a head, as they say. It says, "And on my servants and my handmaids I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy." And the servants of the Lord is going into the prophets. It says, "And I will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and notable day of the Lord come." And that's exactly what happened. Just last night, the moon was turned into this bright reddish orange color. And I was actually out here viewing it, with my seed, able to see it in its entirety, man. We stayed up just to watch it because it happened about like 10:30 p.m. So I let them stay up a little extra at night just to watch that. And what these people don't understand is this is a sign. This is a sign of what's leading to, which is, leading to death and destruction, utter death and destruction. It says, "And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved." Ye men of Israel, hear these words. So that's the time. The times we're approaching is the times when it's going to be more crucial than ever to call upon the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, because this great and notable day is also described as a day of darkness, a day of gloominess, a day of great death, as the scriptures say. Because actually, let's look this up. Joel chapter 2 and verse 1 says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, a sound and alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble." See? And why would the inhabitants of the land tremble? Because of their fate, because of what the Most High has determined against them. It's nothing good. It's not nothing bright what people seek towards. Actually, what's coming is actually what everyone fears happening on a day-to-day basis. The lack of food, the lack of fuel, the lack of entertainment being gassed out, man. Your children starving and dying. That's what's coming. And it's going to be topped off with thermonuclear destruction, because that's just going to wipe out everyone that's wicked on this land. It says, for it is nigh at hand. And it is nigh at hand. You know the proof of that? Look at this, man. Just this whole situation going on with Russia, which we know going back in February, Russia had invaded Ukraine. Russian forces had, carried out certain strikes on different cities in Ukraine, and this is leading to a bigger narrative as far as what's going to happen next, which is a full-blown World War III, in which multiple nations all across the world are going to get involved with this, fighting and death at an all-time high, people being drafted. You know what I'm saying? And then, within the short span of that happening, it's going to be nuclear destruction. You know what I'm saying? So, the time is here. The time is nigh. This is from globalresearch.ca, preemptive nuclear war, the historic battle for peace and democracy. A third world war threatens the future of humanity. So these people already know what World War is going to amount to. Is nuclear war, man. It's going to get hot. It's not going to be a drawn-out battle like World War I and World War II or wars previous. It's going to be a hot battle. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what the Lord has prophesied. So going back to Joel 2:2, further describing the day of the Lord, it says, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. And why is the morning spread upon the mountains? Because that's when you see the mist around mountains. That's how, likewise, the dark clouds from the fires of the nuclear missiles, how it's going to be spread upon the land, just like clouds are spread upon mountains in that time of the morning. It says, a great people and strong. There have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them. And why is it described as Eden? Because Eden was a paradise. Eden is represents basically the land being at peace, right? So it's gonna be before the nuclear missiles, everything is gonna be intact. Then after these missiles come, it's gonna be desolate, right? Because it says, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, nothing shall escape them. See? That represents those missiles. And you look up this word for Eden is Aidan, which means go back to this word, pleasure, delicate, delight, pleasure. And America is indeed the land which many people take pleasure in. I mean, look at the different things people exalt and promote, like different cars, their job, their entertainment, the food, like McDonald's and all that, different various parks that people like to go to, skateboard, or be in nature, be that as it may, the lakes people visit, everything in this, the shops, everything this people are into, all that stuff is going to be present, right, before the nukes come. And then after it, the scriptures mention a desolate wilderness, right? Desolate. Let's look up this word, desolate. Desolate, meaning deserted of people and in a state of bleak and dismal emptiness. So all the stuff that's around here, the apartments, the houses, the like as I mentioned, the restaurants, the bars, the parks, the lakes, the rivers, all of this is going to get emptied out. The people, the animals. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is only going to save a remnant. And see, that is what ultimately is a measure of how close the day of the Lord is as far as how much of his servants are sealed, right? Because the only thing holding back the Lord from destroying everything is he has a set determined number of his prophets, which he has chosen to wake up to this truth, and that he's reserving from the destruction. Because it's not that the Lord is going to be unmerciful in what he's going to do. He has saved a portion of his people, of the Israelites, starting with the men that were chosen to wake up and follow his ways and his laws before this happens. You know, because this is part of the Lord's mercies. Like, just like during the time of Noah, he allowed Noah to wake up and get his house in order before he flooded the earth. You had the deliverance of the Passover, in which the Israelites were taken out with a strong and mighty hand by the hand of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and the Egyptians were destroyed, and their land was, you know, left in tatters. It wasn't completely, utterly destroyed like the Lord is going to do with Babylon and a nuclear destruction, but it was decimated nonetheless. That kingdom never rose back to its former glories, you know? So let's go to Revelation 7. Seven and 1, it says, and after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And that's representing that destruction that's going to come. There are literal angels in the heavens that are preventing, you know, these different nations going to war with each other right now. They're preventing certain things from happening right now. And why? It says, and I saw another angel ascended from the east, having the seal of the living God, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. So that's what is preventing the destruction, is the elect being sealed with the wisdom of the Holy Scriptures, you know? It says, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there was sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. So going back to this picture where I seen, man, 777 1144, in other words 144. So complete 144, man. So we're very close, because that all out hell in this society is gonna break out, man, because, you know, these people are proud, especially these women. They're complete eggheads. They think that still in the midst of everything around them basically deteriorating, that they're gonna somehow, you know, prosper here, you know. Somehow getting a job and getting money is gonna make all the worries of society and the ills of society go away. Hell no, man. This place is completely depleted of all morality, all justice. You got people just completely on edge, hate each other. They have poor diets, especially when they go into our people. They're brainwashed with the lies of America. But you got a dickhead, an asshole that will ignore all that, especially a woman, and it's just money just makes it all go away. That's why those type of people are gonna be the first ones Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai destroys, man. Because these people out here have no concern for righteousness, man. And that's why, you know, a second lockdown is gonna come, and many other ills and woes, man. Rolling blackouts. Because before actual nuclear destruction, America is going to be in chaos. In chaos. People are going to be in fear, and they're going to be, a lot of people are going to be getting put to death brutally murdered in concentration camps, and by each other, and by the famine, and by a disease that's going to break out. Okay? It's complete chaos, man. And that is the judgment of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for the ills and the wickedness and the disregard for the word of the Lord, man. So with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Rakakwadash, and Shalom.